Hey Josh, so basically because I'm um pretty stupid, I can't figure out how to do a screen recording on my iPad, so I'm just gonna record my iPad. Um Basically with my car, I did two things. First, I replaced the head valve gasket. Second, I tried to replace the catalytic converter. However, what happened was as there's two catalytic converters. There's the exhaust manifold, which is the um, exhaust manifold combined with the catalytic converter, and that's the first one, and then there's another one farther down the car. I thought it was this first one, but when we took it off, it was completely blown out. So what I think happened was they let the first catalytic converter build up, blow, and all that gunk went to the second catalytic converter, clogged it up, build up, and then it blew the head valve gasket. So here's basically what I did, and I'll highlight the parts that I think I did wrong. Also, this is the guy who I did the video. This is the video that I followed, and he actually does a really good job. I can send it to you if you want. But basically, I took off, to get to the gasket, you have to take off the engine mount and this part here. So I took off the engine mount, took off the head valve gasket. Turns out that the O-rings have steel reinforcements. So I had to wait a week to have my new head valve cover arrive. Then I replaced it, but 3 of the bolts broke, and because of COVID, we are out of stock. So there's 3 bolts missing. That's one possibility. The basic problem with my car, I should have probably started with that, is when you turn it on, it goes and you can hear every single cycle. Plus, white smoke emanates from around this area. So the original problem was a broken cylinder, or a first ignition coil not firing. But I think it's farther than that. So anyway, 3 bolts were missing, and then I had to wait for piping I had to wait to get a certain part in. So while I did that, I replaced the manifold converter, and to do that, you have to take off the alternator. So the second potential problem is when I went to replace the alternator, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to back up the screws, put the belt on the alternator, and then screw them forwards. Well, what I ended up doing was I just physically lifted it and kind of forced its way in and stuck the bolt in. I don't know if that's a possibility. The other possibility is when I was replacing the spark plugs, there was a crap ton of oil. Like, Josh, if this was the whole ignition coil from the spark plugs, it was probably this full of oil. Up to where my finger is, it was almost completely full of oil. And so I wiped out as much as I could. Then I stuck an dad's air pump there, and I really blew the air out. And then I used the socket, and I just dipped it in, wiped the oil off of the socket, dipped it in as if I was going to unscrew unscrew the spark plug, and then wiped it off. And I just kept doing that. And then when I removed, I started to unscrew all 4 of these. And then when I removed this spark plug, there was as if a vacuum seal had been broken. And I said, ooh, I'm not messing with that. I re-screwed these in. I replaced this spark plug, and I kept it. It looks brand new. And I started it, and that's when the started. So the first problem is it's missing a bolt here, here, and here. Second potential problem, the alternator's gone. Or the alternator bolt isn't on. Alternator belt isn't attached correctly. Third problem, oil is in the engine. Or maybe, hopefully it's just the spark plugs that are broken. Hopefully this works. I'll send you what little pictures that I have. I'm hoping that it is, hopefully it's something silly, and it's just a quick fix. or if not, it's just a quick death, so that I know I just need to get a new car and I was screwed out of this one. But thanks for helping me out. I really appreciate it, Josh. Hopefully we can get this fixed and get it on the road so that I have nothing to worry about when I get to college. Thanks, Josh.